to make another one of these. I'm going to try and make it slightly better. I'm going to try and get this piece narrower so that there's less leakage on the oil reservoir, and I'm going to stick a drain hole on this side so when we don't use it we can actually drain the oil out and pack it away in our packs with a in a small polythene bag or whatever. Anyway, here we go. I'm going to use this Fanta can which I rescued from a rubbish bin at work, and I'm going to make the wick. I'm going to twist the wick up out of jute twine. Now, for the purposes of this, I'm using a block of wood and a stainless steel knife, a standing knife rather, and it is just about right. I could do with it being a bit lower, but I haven't got any wood thin enough, I don't think. Let's try it on this one. It's just a bit too low, but might serve my purposes. What I have got is some aluminium tape which I'll be using anyway. So basically all I do is I shall go around and around, scoring it. In fact, I'm almost through. Right. I shall do the same at this end, but I shall measure it so that I've got a deep reservoir and a narrow top, and I'll be back after I've done that. Well, I've got the two halves. As you can see, that one's a good bit bigger. I might have to trim it up a minute. You need to take this little tab out as well. It doesn't perform any useful function, but just gets in the way. So basically on the inside you've got that bit. Now with a bit of luck and a fair wind I should be able to slide that inside that. So I'm going to, as it's a fiddly job, I'm not going to film it. It's a really fiddly job at times, and the amount of tins that I've actually wasted trying to do it, because you're basically trying to fit things that fit in the same area into different areas. But anyway, again I shall turn the video off for a bit and battle this out. This could take forever. But you've got a nice reservoir there for the oil, and we've got the rest here to do. So I'll be back in a bit. Well guys, it's an abject failure on this occasion. That got too squished and that started to split out around the sides, as you can see just there. And it happens, you know, you're trying to get two tin cans to fit in one inside the other like that. I've got two here, two of those, so I shall try later doing them with these. They seem to fit together well better. Well, there you go. Not failure. Well, you do fail, but the only way you can achieve success is to fail now and then. Or as I think it was Edison said, he failed 1,000 times before he achieved success in something. So there you go. It hasn't worked this time. Just have to find myself another Coke can and cut it slightly differently. I always have trouble trying to fit them in one into the other. In fact, I think I'm going to have to make it a little bit deeper, or even maybe design the whole thing differently. Anyway guys, this is destined for the recycle bin. Well, I managed to force these together. It's a smaller tin can, and this hasn't been an abject failure. What I'm going to do now is to get some aluminium tape and proceed to the next stage. So I'll be back in a minute. Right, what I've got here is some aluminium tape, it's sticky back tape. You get it in Halfords. I've actually found it quite useful for certain little projects. I've measured it around. Now what I'm going to do is right about there. Now I need to find myself a straight edge. I do have one somewhere, or I did have a straight edge somewhere. Where it is, I know not, but I shall use a piece of this wood. Right. Hopefully what I'm going to do, it will make a bit of a seal around the outside to stop the oil from leaking out, and actually to hold the piece together relatively well. Right. Always a bit awkward, this stuff. I'm doing this unrehearsed. It's a one-off thing. As most of my videos, I don't actually rehearse anything. I do it straight off the nose. Makes for rough looking videos at times, but that's the way it goes. Here we go. Right. And we go around using the bottom of the can as a guide. It's come up a little bit short, but that's no problem. We just sniff a little bit more off like that. As I say, this aluminium tape, I've used it on a few things, mostly on my pot cozies, and for making hinges when I do my heat shields, my windshields for my outdoors cooking kit. There we go. Right. There we go guys, done. I shall proceed to the next stage in a second. Well, got a Dremel, little Dremel drill, and I'm going to put the first hole in, which is a draining hole for when I wish to drain out the oil. So, there we go. So you can drain the oil out when you're finished using it. Right. There's a convenient mark on the tin, and that's where I want to put the wick hole. I'm using that one because I wish to make a larger wick for it. There's many materials you can use for the wick. Mick Jester Bushcraft, that's it, from Jester Bushcraft, did ask if he could use the bootlace. I can't see why not. It's anything that wicks oil up. I'm going to have to change the drill bit. I think No, it's too large for this particular drill. Right. So I'll put that to one side. Get the hand drill out. Right, something so it doesn't shift around too much. Right. There we go, need this I think as well. Right, there we go. Let's hope for the best. I did try clamping it down tighter earlier, but it was starting to crush the tin. Right. Gee up, cowboy. Right. So there we go. You can see we've got two holes. We've got a drain hole and we've got the main hole for the thing. Right. I'm going to cut a shim up now to make the wicking with. So basically what you do is you get the middle bit of the tin, and cut it about, it's going to be deep enough. Yep, cut it so. Now the fun bit. Deep enough. Gotta be plenty deep enough. You grab the drill that you just used, and you wind it up, wind it around a little bit. No need to glue this when you've done it, because forcing it, fitting it into that little hole will be good enough. Just cut it off. And there you go, you've got your wick holder, and that will fit into that eventually. Alright, now you want to make your wick. So on this occasion it's going to be jute twine. Now for any of you who've made cordage, basically that's what you'll be doing. You'll be cutting off more than I need. Put that to one side. And basically you're twisting it up so it twists on itself. So I'll swing this around a little bit. It's just like making cordage. If that's what you're doing, you're just plying it up really. I am going to go and experiment at some point doing this with natural cordage, making a wick from nettle. I think it will actually prove quite quite good. Be nice to actually make a lamp out of wood. It's only and or if I get some clay, make one out of clay. I did try once out of some clay, but I was attempting an old-fashioned style lamp based on a biblical style lamp. There we go. So I'll still tend my way doing this for a while. I'll be back putting it together. Right, there we go. One wick made from jute twine. And I'm going to trim it, slip it into the skim little wick holder, and then put it into the hole. So basically you measure it up first, because you want to put a fair bit set of wick up. So we'll chop it off at about where you want. There we go. Just pop it into there to measure it. It gives me plenty there if I trim it off about there. Slide into young wick holder. Again, this is one of these awkward little jobs of you're actually not trying to force two tins into a different space and take up the same space, if you get my drift on that, but just getting it into the little hole. Right, there we go. All I need to do now is put some oil in that and let it soak for a bit, and then we shall have an experimental lighting of it. So guys, I shall go away, take Doggy for a walk and see what happens when I get back. Well, there we go. Little lamp going. I'm just going to try this one. There we go. Two little oil lamps, homemade, made from recycled materials. Definitely going to have a go at making a bigger one with about 3 wicks in it, and also experiment on using, we have tinfoil trays at work which we sling out. Polish one of them up with some autosol and make a reflector, see what happens. But there we go, 2 small oil lamps. I'm quite pleased with them too. In fact, I might even try and fit some aluminium tape around that one and seal that one up, and find some way of putting them in the pack. Be great just to hang out of an evening. And it's actually surprisingly hot. In fact, I've got an idea for making a that is surprisingly hot. I mean, that is really hot. I can't get my hand lower than that for more than 3 seconds. So that's going to be really, really good. Well guys, hope you like this little video. Bit long, maybe some people will dislike it, as they seem to dislike some of my vids, don't know why. But anyway, there we go, homemade oil lamp. And as I said earlier, I'm going to have a go at making one of these out of clay as well, and maybe wood. Line it out with some pitch pine. Bye.